Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. I'm here in my home in lovely Ligonier, Pennsylvania, and hopefully, you all are doing well out there. If you're watching, say hello and maybe where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to hear where folks are watching from. And if you're doing anything tonight, making anything or any of that fun stuff, let me know. It's always cool to see who's hanging out and what y'all are getting up to. All right, I see a couple folks are already tuned in. Anna's watching. Hey, Anna, over on the YouTube. Suzanne is watching. Hey, Suzanne. She says, we are in deep gras right now. 7 days of parade. So, Mardi Gras. That sounds fun. I've always wanted to go. I've been to New Orleans before, but I haven't been during Mardi Gras, and it always sounds like so much fun. So maybe one of these days, maybe next year, we'll see. Susie's watching. Hey, Susie. Susie's our neighbor. Thank you for the birthday treats that you gave William. He shared. So thank you for that. That's always very kind. Julie's watching. Howdy, Julie. She says, Suzanne, I know how nuts that is. Do you live on a parade route? And Suzanne said, nope. We are near one of them, and that is enough. And then over on Instagram, we've got a couple folks watching over there. We've got Patty Tharp watching. Hello, Patty. K Root 74 is watching. Howdy. The Maristist is watching. Hello. Hello, how are you? And Julie is also over there. Howdy, Julie. So yeah, we've got a couple of folks watching. We'll do the talk time and then let some folks trickle in. So tonight's plan is to I thought so we had a memory came up for me in my Facebook memories, and they were it had a pile of these bronze coins that I made. So I posted a picture and I said, I'm thinking about making some again, and folks seemed real enthusiastic about that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway, so I might as well show y'all. Usually I teach this in a class, but it's a little bit different when you can't actually be there and like actually touch the stuff and do the stuff. So, this is more of a demo style. And hopefully, if you are inspired to continue kind of learning about metal clay, come on out to wherever I am or have me come and teach, and we can really get into it and get our hands dirty or not dirty, whatever. Um, and it says, am I the only one on YouTube? It looks like it for now, maybe. We had something where I couldn't get the um, the event scheduled early enough. Usually we try to schedule an event a little bit earlier and then it sends out a notification and all that. And we had some stuff come up just before the live started, and that kind of waylaid some things. So we're here now, and hopefully folks are slowly trickling in. My Beaded Bliss is watching now. She's over on the YouTube. And so yeah, so now you have a YouTube friend. It doesn't break down who's watching from where. And dominionmovement.com just dropped in to say hi. So there's at least 3 people on the YouTube. Dale says, good evening, listening from work. Oh, good. So yeah, so there was people were saying that they wanted to see some bronze clay coins from me. And I said, well, if I'm going to do it anyways, I might as well show it. So I'm going to show you some of my tips and tricks about working with bronze clay. I've been working with bronze clay since it first came out. I started with fine silver clay, and I love fine silver clay, PMC. If you don't know what that is, what precious metal clay is, it's it's very fine particulates of metal that are mixed with a binder, and then you work with it almost like a ceramic. And then when you fire in a kiln, some people torch fire things, but I've never had great success with that. So I always use a kiln. But when you fire in a kiln, what happens is the organic binder burns off, and what you're left with is solid metal. Knock on wood, if you do it right. So we'll talk about how to do that tonight. So if you got your notebooks, get your notebooks out. We're gonna and take some notes, and get your idea book out. But anyway, so we're gonna do that, and then I figured after that, then we'll show some treasures, some goodies, and also maybe we'll pull some of the things that folks may have missed during the Tucson treasure hunt shows. There's a pile of things that didn't get claimed yet. And so William was like, hey, show those again. Because sometimes, when there's like a lot, like one after the other, and we're on sometimes for like 3 or 4 hours. So I understand you're not going to sit here for the whole time. Usually you got stuff to do. So there's every likelihood that you may have missed a lot of the things that we showed. And sometimes it's good to see it a second time. So we'll have some of those at the end, and hopefully William will be back by that point so that I'm not flying solo. It's always harder to do these, at least for me. He's an old pro at it now. But for me, I'm like, did I do this? Did I do this? Like, did I get this to this? So I'm always a little bit scattered and running around. Before alive. And so, yeah, so hopefully he'll be back and can help with that. So I had a busy day today. How about y'all? Did y'all have a good day? Hopefully. Julie says, excited to see this. Oh, yes. Let me know. Maybe I'll get out to Arizona and teach a little thing or two. I got a bunch of friends who've got places out there, so who knows? Maybe. You never know. Marianne's watching. She said, I'm lurking. Howdy, Marianne. Marianne says, I know there are things I haven't seen. Yeah. So, yeah. Here we are. So I had a busy day today. I had a bunch of meetings, and those seemed to go really well. Um, and I'm trying to help organize for things. And yeah, so if you didn't know, I'm on the board for Touchstone Center for Crafts. I started taking classes there a couple of years ago. And I was there so much that they're just like, why don't you just join the board? Now there's like a whole thing. But I got in, and I was elected in the first time, and then I was appointed in, then I was elected in, and now I'm kind of in until they kick me off, I think, for 9 years. I don't know. Anyways, so there's a lot of really great things going on at Touchstone right now. And even bigger things in the works. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're interested in showing your work, there is a really great opportunity or potential opportunity to show your work through the membership show. It should be a really good exhibition. And if you aren't used to putting your work out there, it may be a great way to get extra eyes on your work. So if you aren't a member at Touchstone, I definitely highly encourage you to join. I'm a member. Of course, I'm a member. And I like it. I'm on a committee that's all about membership engagement, and so it's all about how we can have a really robust and useful membership uh, um, program for the school. So I feel really honored to be a part of that. And yeah, uh, so I was in a meeting, a lot of meetings about that. And they are also working on bringing a really talented artist. His name is Jeffrey Boughton. I'm probably saying the name wrong. Jeffrey Boughton. And he is a veteran. And he works in a technique called pas de verre, which is a glass casting technique, which involves taking powdered glass and mixing it with a binder and then making it fuse. I'm pretending like I know how to do it. I want to learn how to do it. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do it. If I get one of the scholarships that I applied to, maybe that will help make that dream come true. But yeah, so he works in pas de verre. And for the longest time, when people said, "Oh, that's pas de verre," I thought it was an artist. I thought Pat de Verre was like somebody's name, but it doesn't mean it's not somebody's name. It's a technique. Um, LOL. So I was doing, so that exhibition is coming up. The exhibition is from May 3rd to July 26th. And that exhibition of Joffrey Boughton's work, they're looking for sponsorships. So I've been going around and shaking the tree and seeing what falls out, and sometimes you never know. Like I don't really consider myself a really talented fundraiser or somebody who has experience doing that, because some people, that's their job and they're like real good at it, and I'm like, I don't know. But the cool thing about just putting it out there, I feel like, is you never know who's going to know somebody who knows somebody who may be able to help. So we've been asking around. If you know anybody who might be interested in sponsoring the exhibition, you can let me know, and then I'll pass you along to Touchstone, and they can get you in contact with the person organizing that and talk about how to do that. But these type of exhibitions, they're very expensive to put on. So it's a great thing if we can get sponsors so that it offsets the expense of doing this. The more sponsorships we get, the better we're able to do it, and the more we'll be able to offer. So it's really good if we can get, some robust contributions. And yeah, I think it could be really awesome. I wasn't familiar with his work before, but after they told me about him, a little bit about him, I looked him up on his website, and it was really wonderful and very fascinating. So I'm going to go back and watch some more videos on his website sometime soon, because I really think that his work is really very thought provoking. And I also really like supporting veterans. I think sometimes people think that we are a certain way, because they think they know who we are based on their assumptions. And so sometimes people think, for some reason, that we're anti-veteran. However, my dad was a veteran, my uncles were veterans, my grandpa was a veteran. And so it was something that, is near and dear to my heart, and I wish they got more support than they do. So, anything I can do to help, I'm always happy to help, even if it's just a little thing. So, I don't have enough to sponsor the whole show, but I have a plan to maybe make some things and, sell some stuff and generate some extra money to help support this, because I think it's an important exhibition and I want to see that, happen. So I'm going to do that. Let me know if you know anybody who may be able to help. any grant program people who are foundation and they're like, I just want to spend money, let me know. And yeah, let's see. I see another couple comments. Let's see. Marion says, nope, had a lazy day with books. That sounds great. I listened to some more of the Sarah Painter books. I'm in the middle of a series right now in the Crow Investigation series, and I kind of don't want to like interject any other books, but I do have a couple books that are like burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak, because I'm just so eager to read them. And there's that. Julissa, I've been creating with Tucson beads today. Oh, good. Suzanne says some books I ordered arrived in a package I expected from AG on Friday. Oh, good. Yeah, we have William's been shipping stuff out every day, and I don't know how he's been able to do it, but he's been getting stuff out. Well, since the temperature is actually warmer, I went last night to the cottage, and I spent probably about five hours cleaning, and just kind of tidying up and getting things ready. We end up with a lot of boxes because we're always getting shipments in, and we just end up with a ton of boxes. And we recycle some of them, but some of them I use for kindling. So I'm going to we're going to do some yard cleanup and use some of the boxes for that, and I'm also going to use some of the boxes. Excuse me, some of the bigger boxes for the flower beds. So I'm gonna cut up some of those. We got a mulch delivery last year, and it makes it sound so long ago, and it kind of was a long time ago. But apparently, you have to let that sit because some of the stuff has like acids in it, and I don't know anything about the science of this. But sometimes they have like acids in the mulch, and you have to let it sit, otherwise it can burn the roots of plants. Maybe somebody made that up and I ran with it because I was too busy to spread mulch last year. But so I'm going to try to do this before the daffodils come up so that the cardboard has plenty of time to kind of get mushy and act as a weed preventer, but also act, keep some of the weeds down. So we're gonna do that maybe this weekend. I have to see. Um, Susie says, took two cats to the vet, one with a cold and one with getting his nails clipped. Oh boy. Well, hopefully they're okay and they're healthy and doing well. And yeah. My beaded bliss says, what is this? I don't know what that means. Marion, so they came across another business that teaches silversmithing in the city. Oh, good. Hopefully you can take a class with them. I'd love to teach in Canada, and I've had a couple friends offered for me to come and teach in Canada, but it's a little bit more complicated. So unfortunately, I don't know if that is ever a possibility or not, especially with how things are lately. I'm not going to go get into that, but y'all, if you have a TV, y'all know what's going on. So maybe. Um, uh, so Marion says, while I may be anti-war, I am not anti-veteran. Same. And it says, that's great, Andrew. Oh, wonderful. Donna says, hello. Hi, Donna. And this is exactly. Valerie says, I'm moving. I realized today just how much of an art supply hoarder I am. Same. I don't even have to move, but I know I feel it every time I go into my studio. We fill that building up, and it's chock full of nuts of goodness. And I'm super excited because, it's like a dream. I wish we had a bathroom there, like a real bathroom. That's probably one of the only things I mean, there's other stuff. There's always going to be stuff, but I'm not going to play y'all. There's always going to be something that I want to add to the cottage. But a bathroom, that would be like the piece de resistance kind of thing, where it would just be like the thing that, like, you don't have to worry about stuff. You don't have to worry about like accidents. You just make and be happy and use the bathroom. Right now I do it in kind of like shifts. I go and I'll like spend so much time, and then I'm like, oh, and I make sure to give myself a chore that I have to do here at the house, and then I run back and do the chore and like take care of business, and then run back. Um, so it is kind of a waste of the gas, but we're doing it for now. So let knock on wood. There, I haven't pooped or peed myself yet. So there you go. Donna says, I had a long day, got my hair cut. My sister got her hair cut, grocery shopping day, into the bank. I didn't get home until 1 and I'm beat. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. Um, Sounds like you were productive. So give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. Good job. Um, Anna says, honestly, no one should be pro-war, but we for sure need to be pro-veteran. Yeah, I think there's always, I mean, I don't know, maybe not always, but in most cases, there is a solution for an issue. And if both parties are mindful of wanting to maintain peace, then there's always a way forward. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, and there are powers that be that affect things that are outside of a lot of people's control, and that puts people in the way of that. And a lot of the freedoms that I take advantage of are directly due to their efforts in protecting those. So we're very grateful for all of their hard work and the lives that they've given, and the things that they've had to endure, so that everybody else can kind of go about their lives the way they see fit. So I am always going to support our veterans because of that. We have a very, um, I'm brown and gay, and that puts me at risk in a lot of places around the world that don't have the same kind of feelings about people like me. And so the fact that I'm able to openly love who I do, and have a business with him, and have a life with him, and be able to do these lives and all these things that a lot of people may take for granted. I definitely try to be grateful for the people who serve. It would be nice if we didn't need that, but we do. And maybe one day, someday in the future, we'll have this like utopia where war is obsolete, and everybody is treated with respect and dignity and kindness, and everybody is seen as deserving of the same things. So maybe one day, I'm hopeful. Um, Dominion Movement says it's great to help people with PTSD and also expose some prejudice and discrimination aspect. What is the way we can help again? If you go to Touchstone, I think it's touchstonecraft.org. I posted about on my timeline on Facebook. It's Touchstone, like I'm a touch the stone, touchstonecrafts.org. And if you go there, there are a multiple of different ways that you can support veterans and this art organization. So if you missed the part where I talked about how I was on the board of Touchstone, I'm on the board for Touchstone, and I'm on the membership engagement committee and also on the communications committee, so marketing/communications committee. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is help find sponsors for this exhibition for a veteran artist named Joffrey Boughton. And that's coming up in May. So for folks who are interested in helping out, you can always go to Touchstone Center for Crafts and look that up, and either share about it, or you can contribute if you're able to, or if you know somebody or a foundation who supports veteran programs or art programs. You never know. I'm always surprised with how small the world is. And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing when we can, use our platforms that we have and the connections that we have to help others out. I see Sarah Sindler's watching. Hey, Sarah. Hopefully you're doing well over on Instagram. AKO Siggy. I don't know if that's the name, but they were watching over on Instagram, and Talisman Beats is watching. I don't know if that's Mary Core or Laura Belkin watching, but howdy. Let's see. Oh, fun, 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 fun. I'm all right. So I'm catching up on comments. My comments went boom, and so I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. Marion says, yes, Anna, the military personnel are doing valuable work beyond warlike activities. And Marion says, once maintenance is completed in the cottage, you need a bathroom. Correct. Lorena Angelou is watching. Hola. If you don't know her, y'all just skip my demo and just go over to her Instagram and watch her on the bronze clay, because she is the master at bronze clay, and she's done some really wonderful experiments. And her book, Behind the Brooch, is one of my favorite craft books, and I have a lot of craft books, and it's a really good one. So follow her. You can see, where is it? Right over here. You see her name. Go look her up, get her book, and go follow her on the Instagram. She's doing a ring project right now, and it is so cool to see all the different materials that she's getting up to with, and she's been making lots of bronze stuff. So if you're interested into diving into the world of metal clays, she's a good resource for that. And we'll get more into the bronze clay after we kind of get a few more folks watching. If you haven't liked and shared this post, that always helps. Even just saying a couple of things here and there also helps us be seen more. Yeah. Anna says, yes, I know, Marianne. My ex is a veteran. I lived in several military communities. I come from a long line of military veterans. Anna says, can you tell me what branch of service he served in? Let's find out, because I don't want to misstate what it is that he did. It says, I think, Army. He is an Army sergeant and combat veteran. Draws inspiration from his military service, exploring war, post-traumatic stress, and mental awareness. Currently, he is a resident artist at Penland School of Craft in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So maybe he is there. Maybe I'll meet him when I go down in April, May, one of these months coming up soon. So, Army and combat veteran. Let's see. Marion says, Edmonton has a big military presence, several bases in my immediate area. I did not know that. Dominion says 100% love. Lorena says, thank you so much, Andrew. Yeah, go follow her. She's cool. I like her. She's nice. Anna says, thanks for the recommendation, Andrew. I will look her up. Awesome. Anna says, can you type his name? I can't because I can type it on Instagram, but it's harder for me to type on the YouTube. There you go. Maybe. And then, or you can just look at my timeline and it should come up. I'll post again about it later. I'm going to post that video that he does where he shares how to do the pas de verre, because that's something that I definitely wanted to learn how to do. So I applied for a grant to go to the Corning Museum and take a workshop there about how to do pas de verre, but we'll see if I get it or not. You never know. And Marianne says, I was going to ask that too. Well, there you go. It starts with a G, not a J, and I think that's what tricks people up. So tonight we're gonna go over some metal clay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. So I started doing metal clay a long time ago. It's probably over 20 years now. And I started working with fine silver clay. Now, once fine silver clay kind of took off, I love fine silver. However, it's getting pricey, and it's even more pricey than it was. And it just is. It's a wonderful material. However, there's pluses and minuses to everything. So one of the things I love about bronze clay is that it's an affordable option. Now, one thing I should mention is that the clay that I'm going to be using tonight is no longer manufactured. It was made by a wonderful gentleman named Bill Struve. He had a company called Metal Adventures, and he really pioneered a lot of the metal clays that are on the market. Now, if you're wondering what metal clay is, the metal is really finely, I guess, is maybe atomized. I don't actually know how they do it, if it's ground down or atomized, but somehow they turn it into a metal particulate, which is mixed with an organic binder. And then you work with it just like how you would with ceramics. And then when you fire it in the kiln, then the binder burns off and you're left with a solid piece of metal. So it's a really wonderful way to work with metal. And there's lots of ways of working with metal. Like I used to feel real intimidated by certain processes, and I still do with some things, but this is a great way for somebody to work with metal without having to do a lot of the stuff that you do with like casting, for example. So instead of like spinning molten metal, you're pressing it into a mold. So we'll go over some of the molds that I've made and take a look at those. We'll go over some basics about taking care of yourself, and some safety issues. And then I'll demo how to actually use the clay. And we'll open up a pack and smash some out. So, and as the kids, they call smashing something different. So we're not doing that, but we're gonna use the molds and use those to do the metal clay. And then after the metal clay, hopefully William will be back, and we'll be able to go over some different things and show you some treasures that we have. And hopefully folks will get some. It's always nice to be able to share things. And if all the metal clay works out, then I'll have pieces in a couple days once everything's dried out and fired, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Dominion says, wow, I heard about Corning Museum from the great show on Netflix called Blown Away. Yeah, it's a really wonderful place. We went in September for my birthday, and I could have spent a lot of time there going to and seeing all the work there because it was really, really impressive. We didn't go and take a class there. We just went to look at the museum, but there's a whole area where you can take classes. So I have a grant currently out for that for a scholarship. DominionMovement.com says now it's on my itinerary for a New England trip. Yeah, it's not too far away from here. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 hours. And it's a really beautiful drive. So if you get a chance, it's not too bad. Julie said they did a PMC class with Arena Mesh last summer. Sounds like this is similar to that. Yes, it's just a different metal. Now, the difference is that with fine silver, it's fine silver is a beautiful, beautiful material because it doesn't oxidize the same way. So, with some of the base metals, when they're exposed to heat and air, they oxidize. And so that affects the firing. So when you fire metal clay, you have to do it in a carbon environment. I don't know if there's other ways to do it now, but I always just do it in the carbon environment. And what that does is it actually creates an oxygen-free atmosphere, and it allows the metal to center or form connections with itself and kind of fuse together and become a solid piece in the kiln. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to show how to fire and pack a carbon environment. But one of the things that changed the game for me is I use a ceramic firing container. One of the things that I had been using because it was included in my first little base metal clay kind of how to get started with base metal clays was a stainless steel container. And over time, the stainless steel actually breaks down and kind of crumbles, and it contaminates your carbon environment. So I was always having all these issues, and I just could like some things were not centering properly, and it would center on the outside, but on the inside it would still be hollow, kind of like a cookie. And so I got really frustrated with that. And I just couldn't understand what was happening. And I found a ceramic vessel and I used that. And it really changed the game for me. And I was able to make pieces. Um, but I definitely err on the side of caution. So I don't make things that are too big. In theory, you could because the base metal clay is a lot less expensive. The clay that I'm using tonight is from Metal Adventures, which unfortunately is no longer around. Bill, he passed away, and I don't know if Carol Ann kept it up or not, or what happened with that, or but there are other resources out there, and a lot of folks are kind of in the process of kind of figuring out the clays because they're not all the same. Some are smoother, some are more gritty, and it really depends on like what you like for your clay body. So some of the clay bodies are a little bit more flexible, some are a little bit more brittle. So So you really have to kind of investigate which one's going to work best for the things that you want it to do. But I am going to use the ones that I got because I have them. I was actually down at Aeromont, down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. They have a wonderful craft supply shop. And I always check out the clearance area because they always have treasure. And they had a stack of metal clay, and I got them all. No hesitation. I mean, minor hesitation because, you know, when you like piling it into the basket, you get a little bit hot, and get a little bit like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Is William going to be happy or is William going to be sad? But he was delighted that I was able to get them because I got them for a good price and they don't make it anymore. So, there you go. And if you are able to get some, then that's good. When I store it in the refrigerator. I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a real thing. But that's what I was told when I was starting out. So I always we have a drawer in our refrigerator, and it's just got metal clay in it. And it's our metal clay drawer. And we don't put anything in there except metal clay. Julie says, I sucked at it, very little amount of clay to work with for a lot of money. So this may be the thing for you, Julie, if you're interested in getting involved, because um, it's a lot less expensive and you can get a lot more for your money. And you really need practice. When I first started, Bill was just coming out with some of the clays. And so he sent me like a pound of clay. And I was like, what? And so I made all kinds of things. I got all kinds of crafty. I made big things, little things, all kinds of things. Um, and I wish I had more pictures of that time period because I didn't document things as well as we do nowadays. Because back then, um, I had like this really junky kind. I mean, at the time, I thought it was fancy, but I had this um, digital camera that I would upload the pictures to my computer and then edit the photos on my computer. Nowadays, I just take like wild. I mean, I'm talking to y'all on my phone right now. So that's an example of that. I see Jenny Di Benedito is over on Instagram. Thanks for joining us over there, Jenny. Hopefully I'll get to see you this weekend. It'll be great to see you. Suzanne says, does PMC go bad? It can go bad. And what bad means is that it can, it is a clay. So depending on how you store things, if anything with water in it, potentially could get moldy. So that's something to think about. If you're like gonna keep it forever, I don't know. I usually go through. When I am sitting down to work, I kind of make a plan to use what I have from that package. And then that way, nothing goes to waste. I just use that. Now, the other thing that can go bad about it is that it can dry out and then you have to reconstitute it. It's always trickier to reconstitute metal clay than getting it fresh out the bag. When I work with clay, I try to be real mindful of what I'm doing. And I don't want to overwork the clay because introducing things into the clay bite. I just kind of pull it off and kind of gently shape it and then smush it in. And you'll see that in a minute. But I try not to manipulate it too much because the more you kind of mess around with it, the more chances there are for things to go wrong. Terry says, oops, I am late. We're on CT here. Well, I haven't really started quite yet with the demo. So we're just kind of getting going. Mary Jane is watching. Howdy, Mary Jane. So anytime I'm on the computer, my nose starts going. So I think it's like a thing. It's like a subconscious thing. So I'm getting my area ready. I'll flip this around. Let me see. Put that away. You're gonna see the ceiling for a minute as I kind of adjust this. And then let me see. How's that? It's not the ultra wide. Let me see. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. All right. So first things first. So I'm going to talk about the conditions that I'm working in. It's currently winter in southwestern Pennsylvania, and it's a warm day, or it's a little bit chilly. So I have a heater going. Now I'm going to turn the heater off, and you're going to be like, "What? You don't want to freeze to death?" Well, guess what? If I've got the heater going, it's going to dry my clay out so much faster, and it will shorten my work time. Some folks, they get the spray bottle and they spray the heck out of everything to keep everything nice and juicy. You can definitely 100% do that, but I err on the side of caution where I don't want to add anything extra. I just want to work with it. Now, before I get busy, I'm going to put this on my hands. It's called Glove in a Bottle. And supposedly this is made by like some Swedish fisherman. I don't know if it is. Let me see. Can you see this? No, that's blurry, y'all. Let me see. Let me change the camera. Is that better? No, that's not better. That's worse. All right, let me put on the back camera. Let me see. How's this? I'm getting the details. This has better details close up, so I guess we're gonna go with that. So I don't know how William gets this all set up. Angela says, "Hey, Andrew and the AG friends, howdy." Dominion says, "I saw flowers sprouting today. Oh boy." I need the flowers not to sprout for a little bit because I have stuff to do before the flower time. All right. So first things first, I've got this beautiful African indigo cloth. I'm gonna put that away, y'all, because I don't want that to get all messed up. Because this will get dirty if I start messing around with it before getting things tidied up. All right. So, and this is kind of the down and dirty approach to this. I was just about to scoop these tourmaline that we brought back from there and put it in a thing of oil. So don't do that. Oh, I dropped some stuff. What in the world? I see this got somebody messed around with my stuff. Oh wow. That's all right. So anyway, so I'm gonna put this over in off the camera, and then I'm gonna make this go away for a while. What's it gonna be like? Do y'all remember what the wood table looks like? You want to protect the surface that you're working on. So if you have a surface that you work on that you don't want to get messed up, um, definitely put down some wax paper. Tape the wax paper down so it doesn't move around. They also make Teflon sheets that are really great. They also make silicone sheets that are great. Suzanne says maybe it was a cat. They usually don't come in here unattended, so I'm not naming names or anything, but I'll be good. I don't want to get in trouble. He may be watching. Tracy's watching. She says, "Hello, running late. I was transplanting irises in the garden." Oh, you're not late though. Oh, hi there. Brooke's watching. Hey, Brooke. All right. So I've got this board, and hopefully this fits. And it's kind of my all-purpose surface. Boy, this is real interesting with this. I'm going to have to jack this up. Because y'all can't. It's not going to be any good otherwise. Boy. That crunching sound is very ominous. We only the finest of production quality for y'all. Only the finest. All right. Let me see if I can back this up just a wee bit. William says I am watching. Well, you know what you did, but I didn't need to talk about it. Don't worry about it. He is watching. How about that? Let me get the lights on. So I may have to turn these off at some point. Linus is watching. Hey, Linus. So the lights sometimes they are very hot, and so I was going to show you the lights, and I said I don't want to blind them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smear this on. Tracy says I love seeing a well-used work surface. Makes me feel less self-conscious about mine. Oh, if I had to wait until it was pristine, this business never get done. So, yeah, this is true to life, and I actually like it. The more crusty, the better. I mean, within reason. I mean, this not got like feces on it or anything. But I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna put this on my hands, and it's gonna act as like a shield, so that it protects my hands. Now, what I'm going to also do is make sure to grind this business into my cuticles. Because guess what? There's copper in bronze, and copper can turn your cuticles green if you're not careful. Well, maybe, I don't know about you, but in my life and in my world, the bronze clay can turn my cuticles green. So I'm going to put 2 coats of that. William says they are great for photo backgrounds too. My Beaded Bless says art crust. It's the best crust. Maybe bread crust. I like bread crust. A good bread crust and a soup, a crusty bread. Let's do it. I also, y'all gonna think I'm weird. Well, you already probably do. That's okay. I'm okay with it. I make my own herbal concoctions, and this has got all kinds of stuff in it. And Valerie says we need copper though. You can put as much copper and be green as long as alphabet as you want, but I personally do not want to be walking around like the Wicked Witch of the West. And then people like, I'm on the TV every once in a while, and I don't need people to be like, why are your fingers green? So that's just the truth of life. So you may need copper, but you don't need to be green. My Beaded Bless is I'd wear gloves. The thing about using gloves, and you can, is that it's harder because you don't have a direct feel for the clay. And also, you kind of want that slippery surface. So this is very opposite to a lot of the processes that I do. So with enameling, you will never see me put a bunch of grease on my hands. You will never see me grease up myself before I get into the enameling. And the reason why is you want no grease in the enameling, because the grease is what causes the enamel sometimes to have problems sticking and fusing to the surface of the metal. With metal clay, what I'm doing is I'm preparing myself for using this as a resist. And I'll talk about resist a little bit more in a second. So I'm going to show you the molds. We're not going to get into mold making today. But this is reverse carved molds. They're done with polymer clay. Reverse carved molds are ancient. I've seen a couple people try to take credit for reverse carved molds, and unless they have a time machine and then went to Utnapishtim and Ashurnashirpal, then they are basically liar face. So don't get confused. This is an ancient technique, and not the polymer. The polymer came out in like the 60s and 70s, but reverse carved molds, they have the cylinder seals in ancient Near East, and there's all kinds of stuff. So don't let nobody trick you into thinking that they invented this, because it's old. You can go to the museum and see it. They used to have these, this is before paper. They had little seals that they would go and push it into the clay in the cuneiform, and they have these little seals, and they do reverse carved seals, and that's how they sign their name. So, you know, be mindful of who you take advice from, because sometimes people are going to try and make it sound like they invented the moon. And if you believe they invented the moon, then I got some stuff to sell you. Just wait. Katney says there's a liquid people use for painting that you rub on your hands and it works like gloves. Can't recall what it's called right now. This. Tracy says senior mold collection is wonderful. So many designs to choose from. Well, I've been doing these for over 20 years. So I have maybe one or two or 110 by now. And so I really have a collection. I didn't think that that was true until I bust them all out. Let's see. Catherine says you might be starting a trend with green cuticles. I hope not, because they look certainly terrible. And this is not easy being green. Brooke. Yeah, Kermit the Frog style. And then reverse what? So all of these are done in reverse. So when you carve these, you have to carve them in reverse. The way Lorena does it, she does direct carving. So she will like make a form and then push it in, kind of make that form, and then use tools and then carve it into it. And that's a part of her process. So with this, when you have the polymer clay, while it's still malleable, you create your design however you do it, whether you're carving it or impressing it or whatever, and then you cure that in the oven and you put that. If you go on to my reels, maybe stories, when I taught the class in Pittsburgh, I actually go through real quick the process of making a sprig mold like these, like real fast. So that's there. If you go on my timeline, you can see that. And that's a part of the class that I taught in Pittsburgh. Dominion says, you're funny, Andrew. Well, that's life. Let's see. Dominion says, these are beautiful. Thank you. Dominion says, that is silicone gel in the bottle. I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel yuck. It just feels like lotion. Some of that stuff, like I put it on and I felt like I was like, ooh, what is this? I'm becoming like a new life form. But this stuff, it doesn't feel yucky like that. Katney says, mine looks different. I don't know. That's what I use, but it depends on which you're comfortable with. Dominique says, I'm having trouble healing my hands this winter. Hydration, silicone gel, olive oil are main things uh, that help at all. I'm looking it up to see. This one that I make, it has shea butter in it, and it has plantain oil that I've made. So plantain is called broadleaf plantain. It's also called white man's foot or something like that. And it's basically it's not a native species to North America, but it's one that it kind of grows in synergy with things. So like if you read braiding with sweetgrass, she talks a little bit about it and how it's like one of the rare kind of examples of a species being introduced that doesn't become invasive. But anyway, so it's used for healing skin issues and burns and things like that. It's supposed to be really good for your skin. So basically what I do is when the plantain is not plantain like the banana plantain, it's a leafy weed that grows. And if you look it up, there's all kinds of homesteader things where people like they eat it and they put in salads and they pickle the flower, the fruiting bodies, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, the leaves, I put them in jojoba oil and then I soak them and shake it up every once in a while. And we got like a apothecary up in my house. And that once it's done, then I take the blender and I blitz the heck out of it. And then I strain it all out and smush all the goodness and squeeze it out. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. One of my friends says like this basically looks like a hydraulic press. I think they use that for drugs, but you can also use it for stuff that's not drugs. And so they make a plantain oil, and I make a plantain oil, and then I mix it with the shea butter. And then our neighbor across the street at Jada's Jazz Cafe, she gave me some that she made and some shea butter because nobody likes to be ashy. And it has amber, and she gave me one that's a frankincense. And so I mix that all together and I put that in there, and that keeps my hands nice and soft because I don't like to have the rough hands, y'all. I like to sculpt and not leave a bunch of impressions like sometimes the metalsmiths, they like take pride in how crusty their hands are. If that's you, then you do you. That's all. You can enjoy that. I don't like to have cracking and bleeding time. So, I try to take care of my hands. So, anyway, so I make this smeared on. It works out. Um, Also, our one of our teachers, Jen Tushon, I always say Tushon, even though I know that's not the way to say it. But anyway, so she has in Giggly Gypsy, she has like a skin formula that has the plantain, and it's like Boo Boo Be Gone or something like that. And you can also use that, and that's really good for your hands. And so, anyways. Um, Katney says, I have shea with beeswax. That also works. Beeswax is really great because it has a natural humectant in it. And this also has beeswax in it. So shea butter, beeswax, and these different oils. But anyways, Brooke says, I really want to play with these stamps, like the big bins of mixed beads or polished stones that some stores have. Yeah. And this is many times referred as common plantain in foraging books. But why is it common? It's special. Everybody's special in my heart. So I got a request to do skulls. So I'm gonna do the skulls. Gotta find it. Katney says, me too. My hands are delicate. Plan to keep them that way. My dad was a logger. I've seen what happens when you don't take care of your hand. Yeah, it becomes really painful. And some people, it becomes almost debilitating. And you can actually get, some serious problems if you have cracks, because that's where infections can get in. And then as I say that, as I'm like cut up with the cats. So I like the one that people were resonating with is a little skull that I reverse carved. Not that, but I like that one. These are all years and years of different designs. Some of these, they have the mica powder from when I use these in polymer. So I use these for all kinds of stuff. So I don't just use it for, here you want to see some, this is an ankh, and then the Egyptian symbols. That's supposed to get you the money. I probably should press out too. Dominion, so this is amazing information. Hand health is important. Exactly all of this. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like people don't think about it, but it's something that can affect, your life. So I try to think, try to be mindful of it. I kind of like this flavor. I love this one. That's based off an old Roman design. But I love it. I got requests for them skulls, so I gotta find the skulls. Oh, I like this one too. This is like an olive one. But that one's kind of crusty. That's all right. Bless its heart. I got this skull, but that's not the one they were talking about. Look how wild I was. I put this all the way up here, and then I decided that I was like, oh, I'm done. So I gotta press that one out different style. And then back in the day, I had this itty bitty tiny one. And that's a fun one. When that gets made into bronze, it is super duper tiny. Like a little. All right. So one day I'll find it. So we'll just go. Look at this. This is me trying to pretend like I'm going to use a cameo. So if you don't do a good job, this is what happens. See that? It's like she got her own self duplicated. And that's from messing this up. So I just took one and smushed it in, but then I didn't trust myself, and then I tried to smush it in again. And that's what that kind of double impression is causing. So don't do that, y'all. This is a fun one. This is just a texture sheet. Then you just smush it in, and then you can get all kinds of fun. And this one's real easy to make if you're going to make this. You just take one of those ball tools. You just do, and you have different sizes, and you go in different depths, and it makes a really fun texture. I should have got a piece of polymer, and then I could show you what that looks like. That's sometimes what I'll do is if I'm not sure about a design, sometimes I have silly putty, but more often I have polymer, and then I use that to test a design out. And it's a good way also to clean any excess mica out of a design. Now mica, you'd think that it would burn off, but sometimes it sticks around, so you got to be careful. So this one, it says, a new day is on the horizon. I made that for a kit, y'all. This one, I don't know what I did. It got stained. I used a pan pastels, and that stained the heck out of it. But I'm gonna do the skull, so I'm not killing time. I know some of y'all be like, land the plane, bro, land the plane. Oh, I love this one. This is one of them death head moths. Amy says, or Play-Doh. Yeah, Play-Doh works. Sometimes it's got salt and it can kind of leave a crust, so you have to be mindful of that. But Katney says, cute, like the tiny one. And this is a little two fish. This flying fish, this grande size. This is a bunny jumping in the stars. Her hair. Oh, I love this one. It's not fall though. Nobody's gonna want that. Yeah, I just made a bunch of polymer clay pendants. If you go to the website, we have a sale going on right now. Look at me being good at promoting our own things. What am I doing? I can't find it though. Something. Happy birthday, William. There it goes. And you can save 24%. Holy jamoly, 24. And that's there at the bottom. And you can buy my polymer clay pendants on the website if that's your flavor. I got some more people. I have to remember not to let the computer go dead, because then it's goodbye Instagram people. And there's a couple folks watching over there. All right. Oh, here's a flying monkey. But I'm looking for the skull. Hopefully I have it still and didn't lose it. That's the thing, is I start getting crafty and then I start leaving stuff all over everywhere. Here's another skull. I like this one. That's a crown skull, more fancy. The one I felt like I was going to be a pirate. And speaking of pirate, I have an Anchors Away. Katney says, "Oh, the moss is cool. Thank you." So, yeah, if there's a design you see, maybe I'll make it. But right now, I'm gonna make oh, here it is. This one. All right, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna take this banner down so I don't get in the way, and then we're gonna go into it. All right, so I'm gonna use this one at least. I should be making this business, 4-leaf clover, but by the time I make that, it's gonna be, it's gonna be done. All right, I'm gonna put this away so that I have room to actually work. And yeah, so tonight we're working on some bronze clay, and I'm gonna show you how to use that. Dale says, "What about a clover? I see one that looks like 4 hearts." Oh yeah, this one, this clover, maybe, but it's over. By the time that stuff gets milled out, it's gonna be like you gonna have it for like a day. You gotta work fast. Maybe I have some on the website, some bright green ones, but I know some people don't like that. They want the metal. Dominion says these make-alongs are so hypnotizing to me. We were just watching a show. It's called The Paradise, and it's about this department store. And this is a pretty one. Maybe for springtime. I'll think about that. Anyway, so they have a department store, and then the dude, he's selling watches, and then he thought like this. They got this watch, and they're gonna get hypnotized. And they're talking about mesmerism. All right, so we got these. You can see I use these a lot for polymer because it's got the iridescent sparkle. All right, so I'm gonna put this all away, and then you'll see. We're gonna go through the first couple steps. All right, so now that we have our work surface cleared off, I've got my hands clean. We're gonna talk about oil and acting as a resist. So you may not be able to see it, but I've got a little bit of vegetable oil in there. And then this is lavender oil. All right, so this is lavender oil. And I'm going to put a couple of drops in this. And if you can't use lavender oil, you can just use regular olive oil. But sometimes it changes the consistency of the oil. Sometimes gets sticky. This one, the lavender oil doesn't make it sticky. And I'm going to kind of mix it around. And I'm going to use this for my resist. Now, I'm not going to wipe that off. I'm just going to put it on my molds. And sometimes you can put too much oil. So you gotta be mindful of that. So what I generally do is I kind of wipe it on my hand, and then I use that part, whatever that's called, the meat of it, and then use that to kind of brush the inside of the molds, like so. I learned this trick from when I was doing printmaking. That's how they get the excess ink off some of the plates. So you can learn something from every kind of different discipline. But I really want that to get in there. But see, if you add too much oil, what happens is it breaks down the clay, and then it makes the sticky time, and then that's unfortunate. So you want it to be slick, like have a shine, but not like sopping. All right. So I put the excess on the other hand. That way I'm protecting myself at every angle. And then I'm going to get my clay out. Now this clay, I'm going to use, let's see, this is the bronze clay. Lena says, I thought lavender was used because it's antimicrobial, antibacterial. Yep, that too. And then also, it is, the reason is they use it in miniature painting. Let me look it up. I was just reading about the enamel workshop. And it's here. She has all this information on oils. If you don't know her, her name is Mur Amalgro, and she has all kinds of interesting things. But she has this stuff about oils, and it's really fascinating. So what is it? So there's these natural essences that she sells, and then she has this description, and you can read this article. If you're on it, I'll share it in the Instagram because I've got that up. And so let me see, does she talk about lavender? So lavender essence can be used on its own as a very fluid medium. Great for thin washes that do not really crack upon evaporation. Also used as a thinner to dilute thicker mixtures of other oils like copaiba. It speeds up drying time and in a smaller degree than pine oil. And that there's a lot of like science to the oils and why people use what they use. So that's just some of the reasons why I use the lavender in this mixture. So it thins it out, it acts as it's dry, and then these molds aren't sticky. Sometimes I touch their molds and then they're real sticky, and I don't like that feeling. It feels like you did something, you like encountered something you should not. Um, and so there you go. So I oiled up my molds, and I got this. So this is the Metal Adventures. This is the bronze clay that we're using. Again, they don't make this anymore. So if you find it, go ahead and buy it. Unless it's opened up, because sometimes when it opens up, it dries the heck out. And then that's less than ideal. So I'm going to get the scissors and cut this open. And then this is the clay. Oh my gosh. This is hard like a rock, y'all. We may not be able to do this. I'm sure I got somewhere. Like this is wet. Maybe that's why it's on sale. Let me see. So for firing, let me see. This is a firing schedule that I use. Is I ramp the kiln 500 per hour to 1550 and hold for 2 hours. And then including warm-up time, it's about 4 to 5 hours. No, I actually do this one for thicker pieces. So what it ends is it ramps to 250. See, I have this program on my kiln, so I haven't looked at this in probably years. But I have the original email that Bill sent me, and I can send that to y'all. But anyways, so we may have to get another packet. We'll see. I'll bust this out, and if it's hard like a rock, then we'll save this for another day. Oh boy, that's too dry. Yeah, it's done dried up. Yeah, that's too dry. If it's black like that, this means problems. So maybe not this one. Let me see if I have better luck with this other one. All right, this one look a little bit better. It's still I don't mess around with it when it turns black like that. And I actually get if you have the black on your fingers, wipe that off, because if you get that introduced on the clay, it makes a spot that doesn't center. This demo gonna be real short, y'all. No, actually, it's not. I can see why they put this on sale. Okay, let me go downstairs, and then I'm gonna get some. For one, you get some water, and then I also need to get maybe a fresh packet of clay. But I like to use a fresh clay because then I'm guaranteed that it's not going to get messed up. Sometimes with the old clay, it doesn't always center if it's got issues. All right, so here we are back again. I got some from y'all thought I was joking about having a bin that's just for clay. And no, I do have. So this one, I've never tried this. So this will be real interesting. But this feels mushier. Kinda. Boy, that's kind of chunky too. So generally speaking, you shouldn't have it be chunky like this. It should be smooth. I'm gonna get that little chunky off. And that rehydrate, you can rehydrate that, but let me see with this. Well, we'll see. I'll scrape all this in here and we'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, usually the clay packs are a little bit fresher that I use. I just order it from Rio usually or whatever. And the clay comes real smooth and it doesn't have all the black on it. So the black is oxidation, and sometimes that oxidation can cause problems with sintering. So that's kind of why you see me hesitate to use some of it, because I don't necessarily want to introduce a bunch of oxidation to my clay, because that makes it harder to work. Right. So I'm back. Some of y'all are real not impressed with this demo, but really it does help when you have fresher materials, because it will be better. Now that's probably too much water, but I'm getting this kind of moisturized, and hopefully I can work this all together. And this probably is not going to work out, but you know, we're going to try. And then might as well, since we're going rogue, we'll mix some of this in there too. My favorite is the Mel Adventure one, but that's an old pack. That's probably when it first come out. Julie says, "What is centering?" It's actually sinter, SINTER, and it's basically when the metal fuses together to form a solid piece of metal. So that's what that means. So this is real tough. They look like Oreos, so black. But we'll see. We just experiment at this point. So if these work out, they work. I'd be surprised. But that's not a ringing endorsement for any of the things I'm doing tonight. But basically, if you get a fresh pack, then your life is better, because then you don't have to like rehydrate the clay. So there's all different kinds of ways that you can rehydrate the clay. Right now, I'm just put a couple drops of water into this little shallow container, and I'm mixing this. Probably I shouldn't mix this up, but since this probably won't work out anyways, I'm just going to do it. Because that clay is real old. Both of them. The 5-star is not as old, it doesn't seem. I do have a different one, so we'll see if that's fresher. I got a bunch of different clays with the intention of trying them all out. And then since I like the other one, I just keep reordering the other one. But now they don't make it anymore, so that's how we're in this kind of mud patty style. And normally you would never want to do this, y'all. You just want to pinch this off and go, because the more you mess around with it, the more chances you are introducing kind of oxidation to it. So buy the fresh one, y'all. If it works out, that'll be great, though. Julie says, gotcha. All right, so this is kind of, you don't want this situation, but we're gonna go with it, and hopefully it works out. You also want to try to use distilled water, depending on your water. If you have real clean water that doesn't have a bunch of minerals and stuff, that helps. But sometimes if you have a lot of minerals in your water, it can negatively affect your clay, and cause things not to properly set up. So just keep that in mind. This is a mess, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna hope for the best. Katney, are there normally dates on the packages? The freshness. I did not see a date on the ones I got, but this is like old clay. So usually it's pretty fresh. But I did buy this on clearance, and who knows how long that's been in the store. So that's kind of the thing. Sometimes you get a discount and you gotta pay in other ways. And if it doesn't work out perfectly, I'll find another use for it. It is making a nice slip, and that's when you get the clay and you mix it with water, and it turns into basically a paste, and then that can be used for other things. And so not all is lost, even though it looks like it right now. I do recommend having paper towels at the ready, because one time I got some clay, and I got a batch of clay that was like an experimental batch, and the experimental batch was real messy, and so it's kind of like this, and except it got all over my hands, not just like on the fingers. That's why I'm kind of being ginger about this, like real careful, because I don't want to smear this all over everything. But so this is a mess, but that's all right. We're learning and growing, right? And had I known beforehand that this was an old batch, I would have, well, I knew it was an old batch, but if I knew it was this old, I probably would have not done this tonight. But the other parts of the demo were accurate. All right, kind of picking stuff up. Now I would probably use gloves for this, because you don't need to feel nothing with this. But it's a kind of a sticky mess right now. I'm not gonna lie. Baby wipes. Yeah, baby wipes are great. I use baby wipes a lot with polymer clay, and at the cottage we have baby wipes. I might have baby wipes here. Really though, you don't need to do this. So that's kind of where we're at now. is what I'm doing is I'm working the clay and kind of getting that moisture into the clay. And so it really is, it does feel like ceramic right now. I'm going to be throwing a pot later. No, it's William's job. But we'll see if this works. It probably won't work out, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. This one, I do like the old version of the original version of the clay. And the reason the original version shrinks more, but it has a little bit of a smoother consistency. I find that the fast fire bronze clay has a little bit more of a grainy texture. So I'm making a mocha mousse over here, y'all. At this point I probably should just stop because it's a mess, and I really should have had a little bit of a deeper dish to do this in. But oh well, whatever. Generally speaking, if you've got a clay, that's you can take a damp cloth and put it over the clay, and then supposedly it will rehydrate it. I know it's silver, you can do that. With this, it's like there's little bits of like it's dry, like a rock. Maybe not like a rock, but so this is not the ideal texture. So in theory, you want this to be nice and smooth. Boy, this is a mess. Somebody done hexed me. That's fine. Whatever. So if William is still watching, if you can bring up the paper towels. I don't know if he's home yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this off to the side and then let that kind of get re-juicy. And maybe I could use this. Really, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. But I'm gonna try to get the other one of these other packets, and hopefully that'll be good. So that's kind of disappointing a little bit. He's at the cottage now. Were you filling up the pellet stove? This looks like I shat myself and had a problem. Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. Maybe I can salvage this off camera. But yeah. So that was less than ideal. But I'm gonna go wash my hands real fast, and then I'll open hopefully a fresh batch. If that's not a ringing, and if this isn't a ringing endorsement for glove in a bottle, I don't know what it is. Look how clean that is. Wow. Normally that would stain everything. Let's see about this. And I have a lighter bronze. Playing with mud pies. What is up with all this clay? Y'all. So I will not be using that. Let's see. How about this one? Well, anyways, I am gonna have to check out why all the clay is getting so flippin' hard. Got like a vampire up in here sucking all the moisture out of everything. So what I'm gonna do is, what am I gonna do? So this is not working out. So I'm gonna get some silver maybe. Am I gonna be able to use silver? Is that gonna be dry and crusty? And get a tinier mold and use the silver. How about that? So I like to use the smaller molds for the silver clay because the silver is a little bit more expensive, and by a little bit I mean triple the expense. So I don't like to press too large of things because then it's harder to do that. Now maybe this one. I like that Love Exponential one. Just like that one. You know which one I haven't done? Well, I was like, yeah, there's a reason why I didn't use that one. And yeah, so sometimes stuff happens. I think that's one of those things, like, as an artist, you kind of get used to the fact that sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. And you just kind of got to keep the show going. Ooh, I do like this one. William, I made a mess.
Hello. Having a hard time up here today.
I'm just struggling for my life on the camera.
I wonder if we make a little damp box like we use in pottery, if it'll
rehydrate
it.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Just do a little plaster with some water and rehydrate it.
Yeah, maybe.
Otherwise, like you said, slip it. It'd be good for slip.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna paint it on all my pots.
I know. His new espresso. They'd be like, "How'd you get that?" And he said, "Well, my husband effed up a bunch of metal clay." And so,
you didn't do it.
I know. It's just real disappointing when the demo goes kind of sideways.
It happens. Look at my pots.
So, well, look. Don't get out on this mess. Here, we'll look at William's spots. And then
you can go take a breather.
I know. Do something. If I drank, I'd probably have a beverage right about now. And then the other one, I was like, oh, no instructions.
This clay is hard, and this clay is hard.
They said, I have enjoyed the learning experience of what not to do. No, I think that's good. It's good to see that,
not everything works out. And it's often that way with our small business.
I think all the
pivot.
all the real like artists, if everything works out all the time, then you're either real lucky or you're not doing something.
You're a little bit safe.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
Which I would love to play it safe right now.
No.
But let's see. Terry says LOL at sideways. Yeah, it did.
It's starting to harden up or soften up.
That's the thing. You want it to be softer and harder. You're too hilarious and too cute. Should have a podcast with kids. Did I get in trouble?
Maybe like your daughter out here.
Gertie. Gratitude. Don't bring her in though, because I don't want. And this art is not safe. Katney said, this is a great lesson in patience. If that clay were on my mat, it would have flown. LOL. Yeah, the thing is like, I want to be able to salvage this. So I don't know if it will be able to be like workable at this point. I may be able to like spread it out and then like dry it into a little thing and then grind it up and then kind of make a clay from scratch like that. So what I would do is, and what I might do still yet is once I get it kind of worked down to a consistent kind of pace, I'm going to maybe spread it out and then let it dry out and then grind it up with a mortar and pestle and then rehydrate it with a little bit of water, a drop at a time, and then make the clay body like that. The reason why I can't just like smush it up now with chunks is because those chunks will 100% not center in the mix. So that's kind of the thing, is like it just won't work when it's when those little chunks are in there. So
what's happening?
I'm just mixing this up. Doesn't that look delicious?
Ooh.
I'm like, that looks like a thing.
That's some mocha mousse.
That's what we're gonna call it, mocha mousse.
It's the mocha mousse show. You didn't know that?
I know. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to get this really flippin' wet. I'm gonna transfer it to a bowl, and then I'm gonna put all this water in it. Not a lot, more than nothing, and less than a lot. And I'm going to get to really kind of mix in there and dissolve completely. And then I'm going to pour it out onto like a sheet and then let it dry completely. And then what I'll do is I'll break it up into chunks and then I'll hit it with the mortar and pestle and turn it into a fine powder. I'll be making sure to wear a mask so I'm not breathing in the metal. Normally, you don't have to worry about, there's a cat hair in there because that's going to burn off and leave a hole. And then it will, in theory, make a nice smooth clay. So if that's what happens, sometimes that's what happens in life, things don't always go according to plan. So I think it's good that this happened, because then you can see how to salvage clay if you get a bad batch or you let it dry out. And I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to say that was a learning moment.
The universe provided you with a teaching moment.
A teaching moment. Sometimes you think things are bad.
You thought you were going to be teaching one thing.
And now I'm teaching how to save your life on camera and not sweat through your clothes. Katney says, soft fudge, put it on a graham cracker, and then SHIT your guts out. No, you should not eat metal.
Do not eat metal. Do not eat clay.
Yeah, either one. They got silica in the clay, and it's gonna be you're not gonna have a good time in your life. You're gonna have the sadness, the infinite sadness times.
Do not have infinite sadness.
They said bruschetta, chocolate chip dough. Y'all talking about the food. This is not the food. Don't eat the clay. And I was worried about the dust. Yeah, so you just have to be mindful of that. Yeah, the one reason why I don't like to mess up a demo is because I think that intimidates people who haven't worked with it, and they get like they don't want to try it. So they're like, oh my gosh, if he can't do it, then how could I ever do it? And really, the thing is like if you're working with a fresh batch of clay, you won't have this problem. You won't have this cake hole of doom. So that's the life lesson. It's actually, if I kept working this and I had a palette knife, I probably could get it smooth enough that I'd still do what I just said I was going to do. But right now I'm just basically playing. All right, I'm going to get this off camera. But I am scraping this away from the sides so I don't actually slosh this down. If this falls on the floor, then that's called the crying time. Actually, it'll be fine. Anna says, no, I think it's freeing knowing that even experienced artists can have hiccups. Well, isn't that the story of my life? You get one thing, and then it's going to be the other. Kenny says, it's true, though. This part doesn't look fun. Yeah, this is not the way that it usually is. But, now we know how to save this clay. I am going to take this off. And then you're going to see William's pots, the new pots.
We only got 2.
Well, they're going to enjoy it.
They're going to enjoy.
Whether they want
They're all going
to
to
see
love
that
it.
Or not.
I love them. They're some of my favorites that I've made so far. I even got one of my,
Oh, you're going to have to save this one. It moved.
What?
It moved.
Save what?
Let's twist it.
Oh.
All right, you have to lift it up.
Classmates I haven't seen in a long time even left me a note.
William loved this. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Who, Lisa?
One of my classmates I haven't seen in forever.
How come she isn't there in the class?
She does a different day now. She had the job stuff.
All right, you're up.
You're up. Batter up. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you doing? How's everybody today? Everybody having a good day? I had quite the day today. My day was full. But let me show you my pots first. I'll talk about my day too. So today I went to my brother's because he had an operation and he is not able to do a lot right now. And he had to, let me bring these lights over. He was running out of wood for his wood stove, and that's how they heat their house. Sorry, I have to, there we go. And so we had to, my mom, my dad, and I went up and we went into the woods. They have woods at their house. and we chopped down some trees. We found some dead trees and we chopped them down with the chainsaw, and we cut them up and we brought them in, cut them up into smaller pieces, and we brought them in for him and stacked them in the house so that they could more easily get them into the pellet or into the wood stove. This pot, I was telling y'all I was playing with polka dots. I remember saying, and so I was playing with polka dots on this one, and this engobe, which I've been using, like I used it in some of my other pieces, like this one down at the bottom. I've mostly been using it semi-strategically around the bottom, but it seems to stop the glaze from flowing into it. It's like a resist without being a resist. And so I really wanted to play with that. So I used the engobe in these polka dots, and I did heavy, heavy layers of glaze around these to see if the glaze would really run around them, or if being such small portions of this. And they ended up doing exactly what I had hoped, and the glaze ran all around the polka dots. So I was really happy. Anna says, "Ooh, love that one. Thank you." I was really, really happy with how this turned out. I'm very excited about this because I want to play with this idea a little bit more. And I used no flux on this. So the flux is the stuff that I use that makes glazes run even more. And so I was glad that I put enough heavy coats on this that it forced the glaze to run at all. And I like the way this came out. And so I'm going to be playing around with that a little bit more, and playing around with this idea, I think. So that's one of the ones. And then this one has a very deep blue interior. And then the exterior looks like this. So this is the engobe around the bottom. And then these are two different glazes. This one typically is normally a very transparent glaze, but for whatever reason, when I put it on there in a nice thick heavy coat, it turned into this kind of opaque glaze for some reason. This is the one that one of my classmates said she loved this one. And I love this shape. I'm very happy. I've been trying to make more of this shape since I've made this one, with the very kind of straight, almost very straight up sides. And it's very thin walled. Just overall, I'm really happy with this one. And like I said, it has that deep blue interior. And
good.
So those are the two.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's the polka dot engobe. I wanted to see if the glazes would continue to run around the small little dots, and they did. I'm very excited about that. So those are the two. Those are the two I got back today. These are some of my favorite ones so far. This one I really like. I really like how this came out. So yeah,
Good job.
that's that. So yeah, I spent the day at my brother's doing cutting down trees and bringing in wood with my mom and dad, and I have some pictures I'll be posting later. And then I got home for about 10 minutes, and then I ran to pottery tonight. So this is the first I've kind of sat down at home. So how's everybody else doing? I see Marianne's sleepy already. Katney had to go. Have a good night, Katney. Susie says, I love the blue on the inside. The dark blue or this lighter blue? This one, I think, this on the inside is the same as what's on the outside of that, I think. I might be wrong. I'd have to look at my notes. I don't know. I didn't know if you had a plan.
No, I'm gonna do that and then maybe show some stuff.
Well, I brought some stuff that I picked out. Not a full 40, or I don't even know if it's a full 30.
That's okay. I'm sure we can make it. So this is William's favorite part 3. Or do you want to start a new letter?
We can start a new letter. These are nice. I don't know if these are my favorites. No, I picked out stuff.
This.
I know there's some really nice stuff in this lot.
Oh boy, I love this.
I know there's some really nice stuff.
Ooh, hot damn, that's beautiful.
I know.
What the hell? You don't like this? Oh, what the heck? You don't like this?
What don't I like now? No, I do like it. But you know, when you say your favorites, like that's a special thing. Like if you go on for like 3, 4, 5 days, people are like, really? This is still your favorites? Yeah.
And this
No.
is your favorite?
No, the first 2 days I picked some of my real favorites. These I picked because I always pick the stuff I like, y'all. And if I think of anything y'all have talked about, I try to pull that too. All right, what are we doing?
I need a marker. I need
Here's the marker I was using, the purple. And you got papers?
No.
Where are the papers? They were up here. Did you move them? Did someone move them?
Maybe they're up here at the top.
Here's, oh, that has
There's
something.
some at the top. You can just give it to me. I'll take it.
There's some there.
Thanks.
There you go.
Right. You have to put the Talk banner up at the top.
The Talk banner at the top? Oh, yeah. Did you tell them about the online store sale?
No.
Oh,
yes, I did.
You did?
But
Happy B-Day, William. Save 24% online. It's only until 11:59 p.m. tonight Eastern time. The sale expires in just about 2 hours. Just about 2 hours. Happy B-Day, William.
Is it already 10 o'clock?
It is. It's 1:45.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just do it short. Because we've already been going for...
I know. You've been going for 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Holy schmoly.
Holy schmoly. Let's just do like 15 or 20 lots.
We'll see.
We'll do it quick. I don't have much energy in me. I was up early and I've been chopping trees down and carrying wood. So we'll just do a shorty tonight. How about that, y'all?
What number should we...
Your desk is staring at me. I know. It's got 2 eyes looking at you.
You want the fabric?
Is all this stuff cleaned off here? There's still some bits of chocolate.
Usually most of it was on that thing.
Oh, okay.
This setup, I don't know how... We need to do something with our lives, because the setup that we have is kind of weird. Like,
what's up?
Just this with my camera is like, maybe it's just my camera. It goes like, I have the ultra wide. I put the ultra wide on because when you go close up, you get a better detail.
Yeah.
I had the other back camera and it was smaller, but when you went close up, the detail gets erased.
Yeah, there's another one that is smaller, but when you get close up, it flicks cameras too.
And I don't want that either.
No, this is the one we usually use.
I don't like it though, because you have to get real down far low, like you're playing limbo, and then...
Oh, I don't know.
I like to just not mess around. I just like to have it nice and not have that stuff so close to the universe.
Well, we'll figure that out later then.
Well, I'm just mentioning it. You got to speak your truth into the world. So what letter is that we're doing?
WP.
WP.
Let me see if we've done those anytime.
Plays.
We haven't done those in a while. WP should be fine. Williams picks.
Williams picks 1. So
Black onyx.
This is here we go. The sardonyx or black agate. All right. You can tell them how to claim.
I put that at the bottom. If anyone's new here, send the lot number WP1, WP2, WP3 in an email to info@allegorygallery.com in the subject line or the body of the email. Please send a new email every time. Do not reply to an old email to send a new one. And first come, first serve. This is the lot number. This is the price each. This is the quantity we have available. WP1, sardonyx, drops. Whoops, where's my, need this. Where'd the ruler go? It was right in here. Well, we'll do without the ruler today.
I'm sure it's up there.
Well, there it is. It's behind the other one. All right, let's flip this around. We have 7.5 inch strand, and these are, oh, come on. These are really hard to measure. That's what they are. These are about 11.5 millimeter by approximately 7.5 millimeters. WP1, sardonyx drops. Look at that. Ooh, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah, make really cute earrings.
Yeah, they would. Nice, smooth little drops. Let's see here. I just want to check something. Good. All right, there we go. Let me get the email up. Where's my email? Let's move this over to this side. All right. What do you think of those, everybody? WP1, $22 for the strand. Ooh. What do we got next? He's working on it. So did we go over what everybody ate tonight? No. Did I miss that talk?
No, you didn't.
I didn't miss it? You didn't do it?
No, because we're really talking about chocolate fudge.
Oh my goodness. Guess what I'm going to have tonight? Soup. And I'm excited about it. Third night in a row, soup. I do not mind one bit. I've been looking forward to it all day. I had my mom got us some Subway earlier, so we had a Subway wrap.
Did you guys get a Subway?
No, you didn't go. You didn't work. Oh. Marianne had salad with sesame dressing. Ooh, that's delightful.
Okay.
This is blue chalcedony.
I could go for a good salad.
I know. I've been very hungry for a salad lately. Very hungry for salad. I think do we have lettuce? Cut up some lettuce in the fridge and put some dressing on it. That'll be my salad. Look at this beautiful blue chalcedony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octagons, 8-sided. These are about 10.3 millimeter. There's only one strand. This is a vintage strand. There's only one strand available. And look at it glowing. This is a very nice strand. This is a 16-inch strand, vintage, that vintage size. Ooh, I smell that lavender oil. It smells good. WP2, $32, down from $38. Andrew marked it down for y'all. Super beautiful strands.
marking them all down.
Marking them all down. Whew, you really marked this one down.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness. WP3. This is a long string. Oh, I'll just keep these. What? This is carnelian? Or look at that.
A beautiful strand.
For $18?
I know. After we just got the Tucson prices, these seem like
well, that is practically. This is a 16-inch strand. Look at these carnelian nuggets. That's some old vintage carnelian. That's some good stuff.
I think I'm trying to make myself feel better by making.
You're soothing yourself by giving everybody these prices. The prices he wished he got these beads for. Look at that. Oh, carnelian nuggets. Stunning. That's worth way more than $24, and he marked it down to $18 for y'all.
I think our prices on Tucson are good, but they're still higher than olden times. But that's why.
Yeah, but this is like
For free.
Yeah. This is like, there's no way that this is going to be this in the store if it makes it there. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that.
All right.
Marianne says, especially when you were selling the single carnelians for $18 themselves the other day. I know, right?
Those ones are ancient.
They are ancient, but the point is there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole strand of beautiful vintage carnelian. And that one has sold multiple times. Y'all know you're getting a deal on that one.
I'm glad people like it. It makes me feel good. Especially after the rough time.
He had a rough time today. Poor Andrew. He had a rough show tonight. Got him.
My first part was fine.
You did fine. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. You assume your product is good.
I probably should check that before.
What are you going to do? Check all 5 of them?
Yeah.
It's fine. You did it great. Don't be down in the dumps. You know what, though? You are going... Here's the thing. You're going to take that and you're going to do something else with it. And you're going to tell everybody how you did it. And it's going to be a learning experience and a very good one for everyone. And then everybody else can go buy the clearance clay and they'll know how to make it work.
Maybe. Lorena was watching that. I just shamed myself in front of her.
Who's that?
The amazing talented artist who works with bronze clay and doesn't have issues with
I don't know. Are you still there? Are you still out there?
She probably turned their stuff off when the clay started coming out like chunky lumpy style.
So you made this one $22, but that beautiful carnelian was $18.
Yeah, these ones are a little bit bigger.
This is a jasper.
I love this strand.
It's really cool. It is a cool strand. But if it were me,
the carnelian would be more.
The carnelian would have been much more because I was going to keep that myself. I would have kept that myself. No, I was going to keep it. If it was going to be $18.
Huh. Well, you're going to keep this one too?
No. Somebody buy this one. WP4. Go away, Jasper Stray.
Homely heart. Yeah, I hear.
No, but this would be really good with the mocha mousse.
I would say just put it. I love this style because somebody's asking for kind of like
shards
and
the shardies.
Maybe all together, it maybe look a little bit too much.
Yeah, but you take a few of these. Like, look how beautiful just this one is as a pendant. That would be beautiful. Or an earring. Find another match on here or something close. Make some earrings. No, these are really cool. They just look a lot when they're all together. But like, let me pull this one out again. Like, look at this. That one by itself.
Flintstones.
That one by itself as a pendant. WP4. Those are really cool. Look at this one. This one has some red on it. That red jasper in there.
You don't like the Flintstones?
Look, I love the Flintstones. It was one of my favorite TV cartoons and shows.
There you go.
Look at that one.
You know, there's
That one looks
something-
Neolithic. That's like I don't know, like a cave painting starting or there or something. I don't
We
know.
haven't watched it in a while, and I don't think it aged well.
What?
The
The Flintstones? I don't know.
Because it's based off that one. The one where they have the neighbors.
It's based off the Honeymooners.
Yeah, the Honeymooners.
Yeah, I like the Honeymooners
He's
too.
always starting to beat her up. That's not good.
That it's not real though.
And
Bang zoom to the moon. That's just
bang zoom him to the moon.
Look at this one, everybody. Let's see here. Life is rough sometimes, says Anna.
I got what you call the Malofia. Somebody doing the evil eye on me.
Have you had 3 bad things happen already?
I had somebody send a nasty message. That's one.
That's one.
The clay didn't work.
Clay didn't work.
That's 2.
That's 2.
I'm sure the cat scratches count as 3.
Cat
4, 5,
scratched.
6, 7, 8, 9,
There you go. Julie says it's good for us to learn what to do when the clay dries up, right?
Yeah.
I think so too.
I just like it.
I never knew. Like, if if you would have stopped and been like, the clay's dry, we can't do the demo, and would have ended right there, I'd have been like, well, what can you do? Like, what do you do with this? What if I bought this? So now you're going to show people. And it says the feel of those old stones, right?
I like them.
Lena says, let's keep it real, because that is exactly what would have happened to me.
Oh, did you show them my catalog?
Tracy's asking if that's Mookite Jasper.
No.
I don't think so. There might be hints of it in there.
So Mookite is kind of funny because it's a couple different colors. So usually it's like pink, kind of a rusty red, and kind of that ochre yellow.
Yeah.
And this is
There's
mostly
some
the
of
yellow.
Yeah, and there's some of the red in here, but just like on one of them. It could be if it were all the yellow part of it, but
I'm just gonna say Jasper.
It's just
because
we're not gonna
some of
be-
it maybe has a hint of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know the origin, and it's been many moons since that's been.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Look at this smoky quartz. Look how clear those are.
But mostly it's like a yellow jasper that like there's this really beautiful carved jaw and like lips from ancient Egypt. And it looks kind of like that material. Where it's more solidly that ochre yellow.
These are 8.5 millimeter smooth rounds of beautiful smoky quartz. And that smoky quartz is super clear. And we have 3 strands of it available. I'll show you one of the other strands just so you can see. I'm not just showing you the best strand. We don't do that here. We just pick them out of the bag. Smoky quartz.
We don't have to pick and choose because they're all the same.
I know. They're all beautiful.
When we pick stones, I try to pick, like usually when you get like a hank, and a hank is kind of like a big bundle.
Usually have 12, 10 or 12.
Depends. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends how many people have been through that day. I try to find the ones that all kind of go together. Like some, if there's an inclusion or something on one of the strands, I'll try to get the ones that are all kind of the same.
Anna says that's a great price on these smoky quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. $14 a strand. Vintage smoky quartz. And you know I love smoky quartz. I used it in my latest bracelet. These are 16-inch strands. Vintage. With that vintage price, too. $14 a strand. 3 strands available. WP5. WP6. Nope. WP6. There it is. Coming up for y'all. WP6. Check these out. These agate. Beautiful diamond shape or corner drilled squares. Is this agate or is this carnelian? This is glowing. Not carnelian, chalcedony.
I would say it's brown chalcedony.
Brown chalcedony. That's what I was gonna say because I thought agate at first, but it looks more like a chalcedony. Brown chalcedony, $16. That makes that price even better. Those are 15 millimeters. And this is a 16-inch strand again. Beautiful brown chalcedony. Look at that. That's how you can tell. Look at that glow in that one. In those ones right there. Chalcedony glows like that. It like radiates from the inside out. WP6, one strand available. $16. Mocha Madness, says Anna, right? Right. WP7 coming up for y'all. Two strands of this available. This is, whoa. I thought they were tied together and then they're not. Oh, hard to bend over, y'all. My back is a little worn out today, lifting logs all day long.
Just think now you're sturdy.
No, I'm going to be less sturdy for the next few days. I'm sure of it. I could feel that.
Don't set the negative mind.
Don't set the negative mindset.
Make the Dr. Terra Suarte.
Not Suarte, Swart. Dr. Terra Swart. This is amethyst. Faceted ovals.
I know, but the way I say it, it's different.
It's different. Needs to sound more fancy. Dr. Terra Suarte.
I was listening to the what's his face, John Tesh, in the car last night.
I like John Tesh.
And he was talking about this thing called expressive writing, and how like if you get into a deep emotional distress, or if you feel a heightened sense of emotion, and maybe like negative one, you're supposed to write it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's good for that. Like you're basically kind of like getting better at identifying your emotions and your responses to stimuli.
These are approximately 8 millimeters by 10 millimeters.
And like I do that, and I didn't know I was doing that.
Beautiful faceted oval amethyst. $24 a strand, 2 strands available. WP7. Yeah, you do that a lot.
And for better for less. I think that it is better for my mental. If I'm able to.
Anna says it is good for that. Write it out.
And they said don't think too hard on it. Just write it.
This is Fire Sunstone.
He didn't say publish it.
Publish it. Share it with the world. I
actually don't mind it, because one of the reasons why is because a lot of times what people they talk about is like needing support in your system, like a support system. And so I think that's really helpful, because not only do I like process my emotions, but then other people are then able to process their emotions so they don't feel alone. So you're welcome.
This is AAA grade Fire Sunstone. $48 a strand, 3 strands available. Anna says, oh my size. Sunstone size. She really wants that size. About 10 millimeter.
They're nice.
They are very nice. This is one of the ones Andrew was talking about at the beginning when he was like talking about how nice these are. The favorite.
I'm interested in that flavor.
Fire Sunstone.
Look at that. It's got the juice, y'all.
Marianne says, thank you, Andrew.
Wow. I do what I can.
Look at this triple A grade fire sunstone from our vendor. $48 a strand, down from $60 a strand.
Mm-hmm.
What a steal. 10 millimeter size.
I probably just used one.
Here, let me show you the third and final strand of these.
I wouldn't use a ton, but
no. Use them sparingly. They are special.
They got all the flash. I'm not going to put it in the back.
But I'm going to tell you something. Do I have it here?
What is it?
I was going to say, I keep pulling out that tangerine quartz. This is another thing that I think would go beautifully with that tangerine quartz. So I know some of you got that tangerine quartz. But look, we're looking for things to match. Look at how beautiful that goes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning, stunning. We've sold one of those. Anna says they are gorgeous. I'm taking one home. Thank you. I can't believe we've got that tangerine quartz still. I can't get anybody to take more of it. It's all right. I'll use it. I'm in an orange mood, though. Orange mood. Nope. Nobody over there. Is this mine? Yeah.
What happened?
What happened? I don't know. Were there people over there? Well, and I don't think people knew. Probably because they saw the demo went sideways. They were like, well, because that was all that was in the title, right? It wasn't a selling show. They don't know. They don't know. We always do one of these. Look at these pearls, y'all. Look at how nice these pearls are.
Mm-hmm. Juicy.
Juicy, colorful. And this is, I buy a lot of orange, but I don't use as much of it. Love it with blue. Yeah. They would look good with these pearls, too. Ooh, wouldn't those look good? What I do? You look good with these? Ooh, I'd make a bracelet out of that. Alternate those. Beautiful. I think that would look really nice. Anyway. It's fun to design on the spot sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. Marion says, I love blue and orange. Didn't they go good together? This is WP9. Only $24. These are huge. I feel like these are really big pearls. Uh-huh. They're like 7.5 to 8 millimeter pearls. And it's a vintage freshwater pearl strand, 16-inch strand. And it's beautiful pearls, regular holes. Big, beautiful pearls. Look at that color. Nice nacre, however you want to say it. Nacre. Stunning. If you're out there, y'all, say hi. I don't know who's all out there because I joined here late.
We had a bunch of people.
We've got 16 people watching right now.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Our Wednesdays are hair miss. Last Wednesday, we were like jamming and rolling with 30, 40 people.
I know.
I just tell everybody that everything's from Tucson now.
These.
And like Tucson Treasures Part 45.
I almost don't want to sell these.
Tucson Treasures Part 82.
This is chalcedony.
No, it's not. It's the carnelian.
Oh. This is brown chalcedony. Carnelian.
It says it on the back doesn't mean that.
Carnelian, y'all.
Been used many times.
Okay, carnelian, y'all. I was wrong. Beautiful discs. $22. I almost
they are particularly juicy.
They are 7-inch strand. These are 16.8, so about 17 millimeters. 17 millimeters. Ooh, I like these. $22 for the strand, down from $26. WP10. Just gonna take those away real quick. going to take those away. Let's see here. Oh, that was 10. Where's 11? There's 11. WP 11. Ooh, 2 of these. These are a mixed strand. Mixed strand, all different little pebbles. There's jaspers, there's sodalite, there's carnelian, there's amethyst. A few different amethyst types of amethyst on there. All different kinds. Look at that. These are pretty. And these are 16-inch strands. And these are about 9-ish millimeters, 8 to 9 millimeters. Little pebbles. Only $14 a strand. That's a good deal if you want a mixed bag, y'all. A mixed bag. I love these because you get a little bit of everything. Some quartz in there. Get a little bit of everything. And you can have fun playing around with it. I think those would make fun bracelets. You could just string them up as they are. WP11, $14 each, 2 strands available. WP12. These are nice. These are very, very nice. Carnelian. It's like a carnelian night. I did pull a lot of carnelian. This is a 16-inch strand. Carnelian faceted nuggets. Look at these nuggets. Vintage strand. $38, down from $42, giving you that discount. But these are stunning. Superb stones. Nice color. Nice size. Speaking of size, let's just grab one in the middle here. This one is approximately 12 millimeters by 20. 12 by 20 millimeters. 1 strand available. WP12. And it says very nice color. Love that simple cut, right? Just throw some facets on there. Super nice. Beautiful stones. 1 strand available. WP12. What you got down there? Oh, wait. What? WP 22? 24. Where's all the other ones?
I put it up there.
13 through 22.
Are you looking?
No, I don't have.
Oh well, then just go me to the next one, because
All right, everybody, we're gonna skip to 22.
I don't know what happened because I put all the ones up there.
Yeah, because that was those and those.
Well, here we go. Now we're just using this number.
Okay. There we go. We got these little ricey pearls. WP22. These have really nice color for their size. And these are 3 millimeters by approximately 5. And there are 4 strands available, and they're only $10 a strand. Vintage freshwater pearls. And these are 16-inch strands. 16-inch strands. Look at that color. WP22. WP23 coming up. Marion says, oh, for an unlimited budget. I know you like the carnelian especially. These pearls are nice tonight. WP23. We got these pearls. Vintage freshwater drop pearls in this beautiful kind of caramel-like color. Aren't they pretty? We've got some light and dark tones to them. And these ones are approximately, whoops, well, they're hard to measure. I'm going to say 5 millimeters by about 4.5. 5 by 4.5. And that's a 16-inch strand as well. WP23. WP24. This is a yellow agate. Isn't that beautiful? WP24. These are faceted rounds, and they are 6 millimeter faceted rounds. I love the yellow. Yellow and orange. It's the yellow and orange show. Well, mostly orange. WP24, $12 a strand. Looks like bicolor sweet corn, right? I can see that. Don't eat the beads, y'all. Don't eat the beads. These strands are, let's see the size on these. These are about 15-inch strands. 15-inch strands. 2 of them available, $12 each. WP24. WP25. Vintage freshwater pearl strand. This is a little bit of a shorty strand. This one comes in at about, 11 inches. But they're super nice. I'm giving you that $12 price on those. Really pretty color. Vintage pearl drops. Vintage freshwater pearls. Those are around 6 millimeters by about 4. 6 by 4. 1 strand available. WP25. Ooh, this This is so nice. Y'all know I love aquamarine. And if you know that, you probably also know I love moss aquamarine. And this is a super delightful deep moss aquamarine. Isn't that lovely? That's WP26. And this is an 8-inch strand. And these are graduated briolets. And it says, I love the strand of those that I got. Aren't they beautiful? They're about 11 millimeters by 7. And the biggest one is about 19.5 by 11.5. Amy says the camera isn't doing those aquamarine justice. No, it's hard, right? It is hard. Let me see if I move the light up here. Sometimes that gives us a better, but still, like these are superb stones. Beautiful, beautiful stones. WP26. $68, one strand only, and they are well worth it. Well worth that price. The stones are so mysterious looking. They really are, y'all. They really are. WP27. We have large and in charge moonstone. These are large moonstone nuggets. These are big. If you like big beads, these are awesome. 16-inch strand. These nuggets are approximately 18.5 millimeters by 27.2. And they are amazing moonstone nuggets. WP27, $30 for the one strand available. And it says you were talking about the Flintstones. These are the Wilma necklace stones, right? Ooh, black onyx. Let go. Whoa, come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Black onyx faceted drops. WP28. Very nice. Vintage stones, WP28. And this is about a 16-inch strand, 15.5, 16-inch strand. And these are 15.8 by 12.1 millimeters. 2 strands available, $24 a strand. Get back in the bag. Get back in the bag. WP29. We've got some beautiful crystal drops. Look at that. That's a long strand. 16-inch crystal drops. We've only got 3 of them available. Vintage crystal drops, $17 a strand. We got that beautiful metallic finish. And these are about 12 millimeters by 6. 12 long by about 6 wide. 3 strands available. Gorgeous crystal. WP29. Oh, I love these so much. Once those are gone, those are gone. Those are nice. WP30. Ooh, this is a little, oh, we've got a good price on this one too. Little microfaceted fluorite. Microfaceted rounds in fluorite. Super nice, super pretty. Look at that color.
This.
No, those you can't. These you cannot grab.
These ones?
Yeah, all the bees you can't grab yet. Whoop. Let's see here. This is approximately a 13-inch strand and 2.3 millimeter WP30. We've sold one of the 29s. Thank you so much. I think Andrew's finding some to replace our lost lots, whatever I did with them. Where they went. WP13 are these big chalcedony. Big chalcedony. This is approximately a 7.5-inch strand, $28. This blue and pink large chalcedony nuggets, faceted. These are approximately 18.5 by 25. That's the size of that one. WP13, 1 strand available, $28. $28. Da, da, da. All right, and we have WP14. WP14 are these beautiful peach moonstone. Beautiful peach moonstone, smooth rondelles. Gorgeous strand. This is one of these ones that's on this cord with the sliding knot. You can wear it like that if you want to, or you can take it off. And this is over a 16. It's about a 16-inch strand. And these are 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter. Marianne says, good night. I am yawning a lot. Not that I am bored, but I need sleep. Me too. I feel that, Marianne. I feel it. I was up earlier for me, and I didn't go to bed until late last night. Have a good night, Marianne. Get some rest. Get some rest. How's everyone else doing? If you're out there, please say hi. We've got 16 people still watching with us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I'm going to show the next one.
WP15 is this Lamport glass. And this is about 21 millimeters by 24. And these rondelles are approximately 12.5. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the rondelles and the beautiful focal WP15. Come on out of there. WP16. Dominion says, hi, William. I'm okay tonight. How about you? I'm doing great. I had a nice day. Spent time with my family. It's about a 16-inch strand. This is a dyed quartz, but it's beautifully done. We call it cranberry. It's a really pretty color. WP16, faceted rounds. And these are just about 10 millimeter faceted rounds. WP16. WP17. What is this one? Oh, smoky quartz. So we had the larger rounds earlier in smoky quartz. Now we have these beautiful, just one strand of the 7 millimeter ones. And this is a 14-inch strand. 14-inch strand. Beautiful round. Deep. These are a little bit deeper in color than the other ones we had earlier. A little bit smaller in size. $12 for the strand. One strand available. WP18. WP18. This is hematite. Faceted rounds. And this is 6 millimeter faceted rounds in real hematite. This is a vintage strand, 16-inch strand. Look at those sparkle. WP18. One strand available, only $18, down from $24. Oops, come on. WP18. Oh, what did y'all do today? Did you do anything fun? I had a good time. If you missed it, I was out in the woods today. Did some help with my family. My brother can't do a lot right now after his surgery, so we went and chopped wood, got the chainsaw out. I did not use the chainsaw. My dad used the chainsaw. But we went and cut down some trees and got some firewood for him and his family so they would have firewood because that's how they heat their home. And I spent most of the day doing that. These are beautiful garnets. These are these kind of, they're like crescent moon faceted garnets. Beautiful. $12 a strand. 2 strands available. WP19. And these are, whoops, are about 3.5 millimeters by 5.5 millimeters. 3.5 by 5.5 millimeters. 2 strands available. $12. That's a steal for those. Andrew gave you a good price on those tonight. And these are 14-inch strands of beautiful garnet. Interesting shape. I love that shape. Ooh. Strand of malachite. Look at that. Varying sizes of malachite. WP20. $24 for the strand. Ooh, I love this. I did not know we had this one. These are 6 millimeters and 8 millimeter rounds. And this is a 16-inch strand. And these are beautiful. These are knotted in between. Look at that. There was care taken on that strand. 6 millimeter and 8 millimeter rounds. Beautiful malachite.
Is SP okay or no? Is SP okay?
I think. Let me look. And WP20 has sold. Thank you so much. Yes, that should be good. He's got one more, right? Thank you. And WP21, which should be the last one, I believe, tonight. What is this one? Looks like a chalcedony. Beautiful. WP21. $18. Down from $24. This was 10 millimeters by about 14 millimeters. And this is a 16-inch strand. One strand available. WP21. $18. All right, everyone. Now, where's your paper for your class? If you didn't see yet, Andrew's teaching at Peters Valley, and he's in here. Let me find him. Whoa! He's right in the middle of the book. It opens right up to his name. Mixed Media Approaches to Powder Coating, Andrew Thornton, for beginners and beyond. August 15th through 19th at the Peters Valley School of Craft. So if you'd like to go, be sure to go to their website. We don't have it on ours. You can sign up with them and sign up for the class and learn with Andrew in August. All right, everybody. And don't forget, our sale on our online store ends tonight. Let me find the little banner here. Happy B-Day, William. Save 24% off everything in our online store. And that goes on for the next 1 hour, just about. So 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, that'll end. But for now, you can still save 24% off everything. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you had a fun time tonight. And stay tuned for more coming at you tomorrow, every weekday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night, everyone. Bye now.
See ya.